Welcome to Modern Femme-ily with your host and resident lesbian, Cassie. Join her and our resident LGBTQIA plus ally, Molly, as they talk to women of all walks of life to discuss everyday matters of a woman's world. Join these lovely beauties every Friday at 8 p.m. to talk about hot topics, sensitive topics, but most of all, the real topics.
Hello, our lovely spooky humans! It's finally our final Halloween episode. I know, I look a little strange tonight, but that's all right, because it's Halloween, and that's what it's all about, having fun and being creative. So, just a little love for your pop art girl tonight, a little pride inspiration. Yeah, that's it. So, welcome to Modern Femme-ily. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back to our shenanigans. You never know what you're going to get with us. So, welcome. So, anyway, my name is Cassie, your resident lesbian and host of Modern Femme-ily. And I'm going to tell everybody, tonight we may look a little different because it's spooky season. So, we're having fun and, getting dressed up and all that fun stuff. But some of our favorite words are only 4 little letters. So make sure you lock your kiddos in the bathroom, grab your favorite drink, whether it be cocktail, mocktail, fall beverage, because I don't know where you are watching from, but it is raining currently where I am in Chile. Or better yet, grab that cocktail, mocktail, or whatever you choose, lock yourself in the bathroom. Sounds like a better option to me. And join us for the next hour while we talk about everything spooky. Last week's episode got a little paranormal, so we might even get into that topic again because your girl's a little weird, and I do a little weird things. A lot of weird things, sorry. And apparently, don't know where my words are tonight. It's going to be one of those nights again, but that's every week. You guys know that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring out my... usually I say lovely co-host, but yeah. Let me bring her out and she can introduce herself. You ready, girl?
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, so I'm Beetlejuice. You can't find your words tonight, and I forgot about my charger, right? And my so my iPad is at like 14%, and I literally was like backstage looking. I was like, oh my gosh, and I didn't have enough time to like go get my charger, so I'm like frantically texting Charlie. He's like, go get my charger, please. So he literally, like, as I'm coming onto the show to say hello to you lovely people, he's like in the background. I'm like, no, plug it in the computer, like.
Well, the best thing is like, so when someone's backstage, and I don't know how the view is for Molly, but when someone's backstage, I can see them. Right? So all I see is boob in camera fiddling with whatever she's doing. And I'm like, what in the world is she doing?
Yep. Because I looked at my flippin' floppin' percentage, and I'm like, I'm going to die like 15 minutes in. And then what?
Right.
Crap.
I'm going to be like, well, now that I'm talking to myself.
Right.
Goody.
Again, welcome to the Hot Mess Expresses.
Every week. That's just how we roll.
We hand out tickets, all aboard,
All are welcome. Let's go. Come on.
Right?
What we do.
Oh my goodness. So yes. So what is the season? Spooky season. So what are we doing? Telling fun stories. And I have a good one.
Or funny stories of spooky season happenings.
Yes. So, okay.
All right. Wait. We're jumping the gun real quick before you tell your story. We didn't tell anybody where they could find us.
I mean, do they really need to find us? Yes, to follow us in our hot messes. So where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? Where are they going to find us?
They can check us out first and foremost on WLFE-DB.com, Facebook.com/WLFEDB Radio, and their LGBTQIA plus and friends network, because we fall under all of those umbrellas. They can Also find us on our Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube channels, all under Modern Femme-ily, all spelled the same way except for our Instagram. There is no dash between the E and the I. But most importantly, Molly, what do they have to do?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Because you never know what you're going to get with us. Honestly. Never know.
No.
It could be full beat glamour. It could be glasses and sweatpants. Or
we could be polished as all get out, and the show goes off without a glitch. Nothing happens backstage. Charged up real good. Or everything falls to shit.
Or I forget to hit the go live button and I'm talking to nobody and then have to start all over again.
Yeah.
It has happened.
Yeah, but who cares, right?
Right.
Who cares?
Exactly. Or like a night like tonight where I was literally putting my lashes on at 7:59 and I'm just hoping they stay on. So
I know. Well, and the funny thing is I was so ready again in a lot of time. Let's just try to get our words together. What the heck is happening with us, Cassie? We're both
I don't know
tonight.
Pull it together.
Anyway, yeah, I was ready early. I was ready early was what I was trying to say.
Yeah. We both were.
Yeah. And then we're both again scrambling to go live and be, but I pulled it off. We're here. So
oh yeah, that's all that matters. We are here to hang out with you awesome humans this evening and talk funny Halloween stories or more crazy, spooky things that I've gotten myself into.
Yeah.
I can't help that. That's just who I am. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But thing of the rule of the night is do not say Molly's name 3 times in a row. Her head might spin around and you never know what's going to happen.
Or I'll turn into a snake.
Whoa. That'd be a really cool effect. We should work on that for next year.
Right? Well, because he did in the movie, and we watched it, right, to prepare. I prepared for the role. And there's scenes that I totally forgot about because I haven't seen the movie in such a long time. And I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so good movie anyway.
You're like, I can't believe my parents let me watch this as a child. This is pretty demented.
And I was terrified because I was that kid, right? I couldn't even watch the trailer to scary movies, right? Oh, funny story real quick. My roommate talked me into watching like one of those like haunting movies, like possession movies, and those ones scare me to the core. Like I stay away from them. I say heck to the no. I'm just not doing it, right? She talked me into it, and so I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this. So we watch it, and like I was fine until you're by yourself and the house is settling.
It's settling my ass.
I was so scared, and I was like, I slept with my Bible, right? And then my roommate, she's like, what is that gonna do? And I was like, I don't know. I was gonna throw it at it or something. Like,
your roommate's gonna walk in your room and you're gonna chuck her and hit her with a Bible.
Yes. I did, yes, I was that person. Like, I get scared so easily, and it's bad. Like, anytime anybody comes around the corner, like, again, another story, roommate, because you have to know the gravity of how, like, startled I get. I am living with a roommate, and I'm getting ready in the morning, and I had locked the door. She had stayed the night at a fella's house, but that night I locked the door and put like the chain on it, right? So I'm getting ready in the morning, and all of a sudden I hear Molly, and I'm like, what is that? What?
That's terrifying.
Yes. And so I'm like, I'm not gonna listen. I'm just gonna do my blow drying my hair. And I hear again, Molly. And I'm like, what the? No. And I turn, and this motherfucker's face is in the door. And like, she's like, Molly, open the door. I'm so scared. I chuck my freaking hair dryer at the door.
Was it still plugged in?
Yes. It comes back.
It's like a boomerang.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I get so scared. So
And
like spooky
honestly,
season.
She does. When we were in the office, I would walk up to her desk, like in plain view. Like I'm not even hiding. She would jump 4 feet off her chair. And I was like,
I know.
girl.
I get like this hyper focus and then like nothing else exists. And
Right.
then if you caught, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And like, dude, I just touched your shoulder. Like, y'all right?
You good? You good?
Right?
Here we go. So Reese and Charlie are saying hello. Charlie says, Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, Reese says next year Molly and Charlie are going with us to Reaper's Revenge.
No. Mm-mm.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. No.
So you were going to tell us a story about a haunted attraction.
Yeah, I will tell you why that's a nope. I will tell you why. I lost a bet, right? This is why I don't do bets anymore. I always get fucked. I always get fucked. Lost a bet, and because I lost the bet, I had to go to this stupid haunted house with my sister and her at the time boyfriend. So, and I don't do those. I don't even do like haunted hay rides. Like it's not a thing for me. So I have to go, and we go in, and there's like 4 different attractions you go to, right?
It's a good time.
And I go into the first one.
Wait, was that here?
Yes.
Was it
Pennsylvania? Huh? What? I don't know. Probably.
It's one of the big ones here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, probably. It probably was, because there was like this haunted house, and the lines were forever long, and it was freezing cold, and I knew that oh my gosh, I knew I was going to be stressing.
Yeah, it was filled with screams.
It was filled with screams. Okay. So we go and we're in line and whatever, and this dad and his son, and I'm assuming he was like 7 years old. I don't know. I'm really bad with ages. They're in front of us. And so we finally are in. It's freezing cold, but meanwhile, I'm sweating my ass off because I'm so anxious, right? And I'm like shaking because I'm anticipating what's going to happen. And I'm just like thinking the worst. We go in, nothing is happening, mind you, except for fog machines. But I'm getting so anxious that I'm going, shit, oh shit. And I'm like, I'm so sorry that I'm cussing. I'm so sorry. And the guy was like, it's okay. And I was like, I'm so sorry about your son. Because I'm like, oh fuck. Like, I'm like, yeah, lock your kids up now because it's just going to be a cussing storm. Like, that's how bad it was. And the whole time, my neck is like, I'm like this because I'm afraid, I don't know, someone's going to jump out and like chop my head off. It was the worst experience. And then my sister and her boyfriend are behind us, or behind me. They knew like this like stupid clown thing. And I'm like, I'm not afraid of clowns, but I'm afraid of people coming up behind me in a dark hallway. Right. That's what I'm afraid of. So they let him go in. And then all of a sudden I just hear like this, and I turn around and here's this face. I was done. Drop to the ground, crawl to the corner. Like I was done. And so I ran. And listen, I don't run. I'm not a runner. I'm a fast walker, right? I ran, and my motherfucking ass ran real fast, real quick. Yes. So then, that was the first attraction. I had 3 more to go. So I went to the other one. I was like, guys, I'm done. And they're like, come on. We won't do this hayride thing. The last one is like outdoors, and it's like this obstacle kind of course thing. Yep. And then you get to the car, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I take off my sweater, and I'm like, hold this. And listen, I go through like this big cylinder thing. Yeah. And this stupid mother effer just like comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, I scream, I'm done. And I just book it. And I go past these teenage kids and they're like, run! And the kids are like, or the like someone yells run, and the other guy's like, why? And he's like, oh, lady's running, run! So all the kids take off running. They couldn't catch up with me. I'm not even kidding. My little legs were going so fast. And then I'm at the end of like the freaking maze or whatever. I'm finally out, and I'm like waiting for my sister, and I'm like trying to catch my breath, and like my adrenaline's going so much. I'm sweating so bad. It was the worst experience ever.
That's great. Couple comments I want to show you. So Robert White says, if you build it, they will scream. Yes.
Yes, they will. They sure will.
And this one, when it came through, like I tried not to giggle at it because you were telling your story. Robert says, so no being Sheldon knocking on Molly's door. Molly.
Yeah.
Molly.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Although one of these days I go over to Molly's house, I'm going to do that.
Man, that it scared me so. Like all I could think of was The Shining. Like I'm done. I'm gonna get axe murdered. Like,
well, so that same attraction, because that attraction is in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Okay.
And I used to live there, and we went. I couldn't tell you how many times, but I remember going for a friend's birthday, and so I don't know if you remember, but there's a room in one of the attractions that's like an airbag, and the floor is like bumpy. Okay.
Yes.
So in this airbag, like that's how you have to get through. Like there's no other way to say it. Like you have to squeeze your way through. So my ex, who was with me at the time, or who I was with at the time, is still a really good friend of mine, but she's leading the way. Now, mind you, she is 5'1", 5'2".
Right.
Like she's little. I'm 5'6", so I'm like a head over top of her, but she's leading the charge because I was like, no, I'm not afraid of these things, but I'm not walking face first into something. Right. And this is pitch black. Like you can't see anything.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Like all your senses, it's horrible.
Right. The only thing you have is feel and smell.
Which is awful
in one of these, because I mean there's 8,000 people through them in a night, and you have sweaty actors in them. It's just the smell sense is horrible in these attractions. But she takes her arms and goes inside these airbags and pushes, and all you hear is so apparently in between said airbags there was an actor, and he must not have known we were coming through. And we obviously didn't know he was in there.
Right.
And my ex just gut checked him. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, man. I didn't know you were there. Are you okay? And he's like trying to play it off and, still be scary. And at this point, the 12 of us in our line, in our party, are all laughing hysterical because she's like apologizing over and over to this guy. And he's like, I'm fine. Just keep going.
Right.
I felt so bad for him because like a lot of these places, they have the actors can touch you and they can interact with you, but you can't touch them.
Well, right.
For their safety.
Of course, but like, there's some people's that reaction and
I have a story about that. Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. But like she felt so bad, and he's like, you're good. And she wanted him to know, like, she didn't do it on purpose.
Right.
And he's like, no, you're good, you're good. But it was so funny. But I felt so bad.
Right.
But I just wanted to get through that section because the floor moves.
Right.
You have to squeeze through. Yeah. And it's completely dark.
Yeah. No.
So,
it's not fun.
I mean, it's a lot of fun.
No, it's not.
I tend to be that friend. I'm that asshole friend at these things, right? Like, I'll go in the front. I never want to be the front person just because, like I said, I don't like to walk into somebody. Like,
right.
But I'll be the second or the third. I don't mind. But I'm always that friend that's like, Molly, 6-person back. And then they'll be like, Molly.
Oh my God. I hate it. I hate
And you're
it.
like,
That's
how
like,
the fuck do you know my name?
no. That, nope.
I wouldn't do it to you because I know like you are absolutely petrified. But my
Yes.
best friend from high school, her little sister, we used to go to these things all the time, and she's hilarious because just anything will fall out of her mouth, like
Okay.
anything. At one of the haunts we went to, they tried to separate my best friend, her sister, and myself from the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And her sister grabs a hold of both of us and goes, I will shit myself right here. So, of course, we're like terrified and laughing hysterically at the same time. We just took off through where we were, left everybody else alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will shit myself right here. And she just like stops and like squats. And we're like, don't shit yourself. Let's go.
Don't make it that kind of moment. Please.
Right. It's not that kind of party.
Right. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yes. This is why we can never go back to these more than once.
Right? No, for real.
But yeah.
Those laughing tears.
Right?
Well, and again, I only have one contact.
Oh yeah, Molly. Still, you have an appointment tomorrow. You said, right?
Tomorrow, yeah. I actually finally called, got my life together, right, and was like, hey, I gotta get some seeing stuff. So
right,
yeah, tomorrow.
We both adulted this way. I have trial contacts coming because I can't get an appointment until February.
Why? Why is it always so hard?
I mean, and this is because the bitch is still around, and yeah.
Right. Well, the corona.
She needs to go home. I'm tired of her.
I know. Well, again, a whole other subject, whole other time. I don't want to make this episode apart. That type of episode, right? But people would just follow instructions.
She's killing spooky season.
Right? Seriously. Except for I'm so excited to see all these little kids dressed up in their costume. Like, that's my favorite part. And I love dressing up and handing out candy, and I'm doing it 2 nights in a row. So I'm like super excited about that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So the party that Reese and I were supposed to go to, I haven't been feeling the greatest all week.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's congestion and coughs and, no fever, but I just can't keep warm. So I think being outside and like in and out and just not a good idea. Plus, with not feeling well, it's not smart to, be around people.
Right.
Regardless of what it is. So I don't know if we're going to go, but if not, we'll just stay home and watch scary movies because we don't really get trick-or-treaters where we live.
Right. I love scary movies. That's what we're doing. I guess we're telling you guys what we're doing in our lives. That's what I'm doing Saturday, is watching scary movies. I'm really excited about it.
Is terrified of scary movies.
Well, luckily, I have a husband now, and I can say, hey, because we sleep in separate rooms, but whatever. It's not like a relationship trouble thing. It's because he snores, and I'm a real finicky sleeper. So, but this time I can say, hey, come back in, because I'm scared.
Right. Yeah. I need you to protect me from the monsters under the bed.
Yeah, or my own mind overreacting about a noise that always happens.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does, and it goes there. I go to I'm going to die. It's gonna happen. I heard the furnace go off. I hear it every night, but this is the night that something's gonna possess me and kill me or something. Right. That's where my mind goes to.
Well, I have to tell you. So last week, we had Reese's dad's dog because he was on vacation, and he had gotten neutered. So she slept with him, and I took our dog and slept with him. And we alternated like our room for our spare room, and that way we could be comfortable. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard like banging. And I'm like, what is she doing? Like, is she throwing a fit because the dog won't sleep? Like, I don't understand what's happening. And I came out of our room, and there was not a noise coming from our spare room. And like, I didn't see anything outside, but I'm like, what the hell? So, and I mean, we have close neighbors.
Right.
But it was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. So like, they have a 3-year-old. I knew they weren't up. And
Right.
so I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I went and didn't see anything, laid back down, heard it a couple more times, and then it stopped. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm going back to sleep. I don't care. If something's going to eat me or kill me in my sleep, so be it. I tried to figure out what it was, but it's nothing. I don't know.
I mean, it's a good way to go in your dreams, right?
Right, exactly. But yeah, no, I do the same thing though on occasion. Like I'll hear something and I'll fixate on it.
Yes.
Like,
and then I think the worst.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I'm dying. This is how I die. This is how I die.
Well, I get in trouble with like Google and then like trying to figure out my symptoms. Yeah, I'm always dying.
Yeah, this is why you don't Google things, people.
Yeah.
Don't Google illness. Don't Google
Google
sounds.
your symptoms.
No.
Right.
Stay off of there.
Yes.
So remember how I told you I had a story about someone hitting an actor?
Yes.
Okay. So we were at Reaper's Revenge. Actually, this was years ago. I was with friends and somebody, I won't mention their name because yeah, we all have them. Oops.
We do. We all have them.
But we ended up talking like to the cast and the owner and the art director and things like that afterwards, because they have a huge bonfire that once the attractions close down, the actors come out and talk to people.
Right. Okay.
And we're standing there talking to this girl, like, and I'm not even kidding. She was probably 5 foot tall, 125 pounds, if she's lucky, like tiny itty bitty little thing, right? She played a broken doll. And for most of her acting in the haunt, she just kind of sat in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, slumped over, right? So she's telling us this was her first night back. She had gotten punched the previous weekend by like this big, like 6'5", 400-pound guy, just socked her right in the face because she stood up and scared him. And they were worried that he broke her orbital socket.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And at this one, like, you have to sign a waiver that you will not touch the actors.
Right.
And if you do, charges will be pressed. And the girl was like, it was an accident. Like, I scared him. It was not his fault. And everyone, like, in higher up in management, essentially was like, no. Like, we're pressing charges. He should have never put his hands on you. Like, she, as a human, felt really, really bad. But as the company, they have to protect their actors.
Right. Well, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, when she was like, oh yeah, I'm fine. Like, I'm not even supposed to be back for another week, but I just can't. I have to do it. It's haunt season.
Oh my gosh. Dedication, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, like, part of her makeup was not makeup. Like, the whole side of her face was bruised.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I was like, oh my gosh, there goes my want to be part of like the haunt crew. Like,
yeah.
I like my eyes where they are.
Yeah. Getting punched in the face does not sound appealing.
No. I like my nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's my moneymaker.
Right, exactly. Like this is why we have the show,
Right.
No. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, some people, that's just their natural reaction. And
yeah, well, I mean, I don't punch. I like freeze and then like evaluate where I can escape.
Yeah. The very first one I ever went to, I put my head in the person's back in front of me, did not see a single thing, and just followed them through, like, hoping they didn't lead me astray.
Right.
Like, didn't see a damn thing. Nope. I was like, no, I'm good. I don't want to do this. And then I learned to love them. So, but
yeah, I don't think I will learn. No, I just don't enjoy it. The things that just pop out of nowhere, and I get that that's the appeal, but that stresses me out.
Pop scares usually tend to scare the shit out of me too.
I don't like. Well, I mean, a touch on the shoulder that I'm not anticipating scares the shit out of me. So turn that up to like 100 degrees. No thanks.
Right? I like this. They should have the Cusco signs of no touchy before the scary actors are.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. Just like a big red sign instead of saying exit, no touchy.
Yeah.
Jump scare ahead. So you can prepare yourself. Yeah.
I think that would be worse because then I know it's coming. I was like, right? Oh God, what's the next one?
Google imminent death.
Right? No, for real.
Yeah. Like that's exactly what happens when you Google your ailments.
It does. I think like one time at work, I'm telling a work story. I was like I was like, dude, I have like a pain in my back. And literally it was, I like had a rib out, but I Googled it and I was like, Cassie, I think I have cancer. Like I think.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. I was like,
yeah.
I have cancer.
I was like, Cassie, like I have all the symptoms. Like it's really bad. And she's like, girl, just go to the chiropractor. And I was like, I mean, okay. Legit pop. And I was like, oh, hey,
it doesn't hurt anymore.
Oh my gosh, yes. And seriously, I'm like that with Charlie too. I'm like, it's the worst thing that's ever gonna happen. I'm dying. Like,
but we're all here like, Molly, you're not dying. I mean, we're all dying slowly.
Like
but you're not dying today.
Yes, it's gonna happen. Right.
Yes.
I've accepted it. However.
Yeah. But we love you.
I mean, okay. How could you not?
Seriously. Well, it's funny because I've always had back problems. I threw my back out when I was in my early 20s, and I have had issues since. And now I have issues with my hips staying in place because of it. And I'm having issues with like numbness and tingling in my hands and my feet from pinched nerves.
Mm-hmm.
And so I Googled it at first to like see what it was. Literally, it was like, you're dying.
Right.
You're going to be dead in a week. Like, don't even bother Googling it.
Yeah.
And then like I put in a few more symptoms and it was like, oh, you may have a herniated disc. And I'm like, oh, well, that sounds more plausible than death and dismemberment, essentially. Like,
I know.
Wow.
Either you're dying or you're pregnant. Like that's like those are the two lanes you get.
Right. And for me, it's a little more work to get pregnant, so I'm just always dying.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Whatever.
Right.
But we're still here. It's cool. But it is 8:32, so we are going to hop into a commercial break.
And I'm going to eat my cookie.
I know, I was jealous earlier. She took a bite. I was like, are you eating a cookie?
Mm-hmm.
I want a cookie.
Yeah, I am. So
Nobody brings me cookies. I need to go to the office more often.
I know.
But all right, people. While Molly enjoys her cookie and I sit here and watch the commercial play, we will see you in just a few short moments. Stick around.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Brie, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area, 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
Try again, buddy. Try again. Yay! Okay. Oh yeah, good job. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Life just got sweeter now that WLFE-DB has merchandise. Show your support by purchasing your t-shirts for WLFE, Paratalk Radio, Inside the Drag Closet, and more. But it doesn't stop there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, tanks, buttons, cloth bags, and more. Go to WLFE-DB.com. On the top bar, click on the merchandise tab and bam, there you go. You got merch. Support the shows. WLFE-DB.com. You're listening to WLFE-DB Radio. Now back to our program.
How's that cookie going for you?
It's still going.
It looks yummy. Aw. Tell me, Molly, do you happen to know who that is?
I do. I do. She was actually, if you remember the story of the roommate and the hairdryer, she was that roommate.
Well, tell everybody who's listening to our podcast who that is.
Oh, yeah. Hello. That's Kat Hannock. Yes. That's my dear friend. Dear friend.
Yes.
And
Hello. Welcome to our shenanigan shit show.
I know. She called me right before the show, and it was the best thing ever. So I had like my phone, and it was like FaceTime or whatever. So I had my phone propped up against the laptop, iPad or whatever. And then Cassie and I are like getting ready together, and I'm talking to Kat, and she's like, we're telling stories and having a good old time, and we're all getting ready together. It was fun. It was a good time.
It was great. And we actually invited her to be a guest on our show next month.
Yeah. And I'm so excited because like her personality is like, boom. It's so fun. I'm so excited.
There you go. She's the G-O-A-T. She's the GOAT.
Yep. She's the greatest of all time. Yes.
Oh, yes. And I just got totally called out. My wife says, horse shit. I distinctly remember bringing you cookies on several occasions. This is true, honey. I'm sorry.
Right.
They're usually Oreos, the golden ones, because they're my favorite.
Those are my favorite too, like the thin ones. Yes. Yes.
I have a pack on the counter in the kitchen, actually, and regular Oreos. I'm very spoiled when it comes to that kind of thing. I will not lie.
I know. We're spoiled. I am spoiled too. However, I had a realization during the break. I had a question I want to ask. Do you remember the last year or like last age range you went trick-or-treating?
Like I went trick-or-treating myself?
Mm-hmm. Right. It's like kind of like that question of like, when did you know that Santa wasn't real? Like, when did you stop like having that gleefulness of Halloween, like going trick-or-treating and like getting really excited? When was that like not a cool thing? Do you remember? Because I do.
I want to say I was probably like the last time that I went, I was probably like 11-ish. Like,
really?
Well, because we lived in the middle of nowhere, so like we were allowed to like still go and like say hi to our neighbors and get.
That's true.
I remember taking my younger siblings trick-or-treating one year, and my friend Dustin was with me because we put my little brother in drag. The best part about that is there were so many neighbors who were like, "You make such a cute girl," and I was like, "What's that saying about you being like, sorry, Brandon?"
Right.
But I want to say I was probably like 19 when that happened, and the neighbors were like, "No, come on up and get a treat and yada yada yada." And I was like, "I'm not gonna pass down candy."
Right.
Free candy? Hell yeah. Real quick, I have to address a comment of concern here. Cassie, is the neck brace real or part of your costume? It is part of my costume because I could not find black body paint. Everywhere was sold out, and I just had grease makeup. So I'm a little bear. So it's just a t-shirt
right
around my neck. It's cool. I don't have a black turtleneck. They aren't in anymore. So,
well, I mean, you probably could find it online. But again, did not prepare very well for our costumes. I should have ordered face paint online, right? Should have prepared a little bit more, but I did not.
Well, and so I found water activated body paint, and I was so excited. I was going to pick it up, and I looked online like to see which ones they had in stock in store, and it was white and green.
Yeah.
Right. Like, the hell am I going to do with that? I don't need white or green. I need black. Come on. But I appreciate your concern. It's just, I'm good. Just part of the costume. But so we have a comment about what age you were the last time you went trick-or-treating.
Oh, okay.
Reese says, I was 37. That would be last year.
Right.
And we legit we went with my niece and my sister and my mom. We went trick-or-treating. And my wife is tiny. Like, I mean, she's 5'5", so she's about
she
my
could
height.
like pass as like a trick-or-treater.
Oh yeah, she would walk up to all the houses because her costume was a onesie of Jack Skellington, and it came down over her face, so you couldn't see her. And she would walk up with my niece, and she would say trick or treat, and my niece would say trick or treat, and they would both get candy, and then they would come back. And I'm like, great, candy for us, candy for her. This is a win-win situation. I'm okay with this.
I remember I was. Oh, what?
No, go ahead. We'll come back to this one.
No, I remember I was like 13 years old, and I was like super excited to go out and like trick or treat. And my sister I was gonna say my sister at the time. No.
She's still her sister, everybody.
Yeah. My sister, she was like, no, like that's not cool. And I was like, yeah, it is. Going trick-or-treating school. Let's dress up and go. And like she didn't want to take me, so like my dad had to do something and my mom had to do something. So I was like, I'm just not gonna go, because we lived in the middle of nowhere at that time.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And that was my last, like the year before was the last one, and I can't even remember what I was.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. And it was like super depressing because I like didn't want to grow up. Like I was like, because then I feel like then I'm 14 and I'm like in high school and
right.
So yeah.
And now we're in our 30s and married, and we're taking our
not
nieces, nephews.
Socially acceptable to go without a child. Like you cannot go trick-or-treating if you're 32 years old without a child. Like,
I mean, I look at it this way. If an adult comes to my door and asks for candy, I'll be like, do you want candy or a bottle of wine?
Right.
Because I have both. I'm just trying to be accommodating.
Right. 2, please. 2.
Right.
Double fisted.
This is what made me go, aw. First trick-or-treating, Robert said he was 32. Oh. Well, hey, I say you were never too old.
Nope.
To enjoy Halloween and get your trick-or-treat on.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Absolutely.
Never. And that's why I say, if someone comes to my door and says trick-or-treat, I don't care if you are 4 or 40. If I have candy, you're getting it. Like, the first and only time that Reese and I handed out candy here, because we don't really get a lot of trick-or-treaters. People here will go to like trunk or treats, or we'll go like in town, not where we live. We were like forcing it on people, and we had like 6 people that we were literally like, we have good candy, come say, like, we've got music on, we're dressed up, like we are all out.
Yes.
And they just were like, no, we have good candy. And the adults were like, do you want candy? Do you have a trick-or-treat bag? Like, we'll give you candy too. It's okay, we'll share. Like, right. No. Yeah. No. So I wish it was socially acceptable for adults to go trick-or-treating and not have to have a child with them.
And like, I guess now, like, our equivalent of trick-or-treating is like going to like Halloween parties or Halloween get-togethers. Yeah. So like I guess that's fun. And it is. No, it is fun. Like, I love Halloween parties. I always dress up. I always go all out. Like, I was a cloud one year. Yeah.
I was your rainbow.
Yeah. Yep. And then Tessa was my sun. We made her a sun.
That sun was a bitch to make too, by the way.
Because again, I make all my costumes, and I'm not saying I'm a seamstress. I'm not saying I'm a costume designer. What I am saying though is I make shit work.
Yep. When we started hot gluing cotton to the cardboard and it started melting, Because
Oh
that
my
was a genius idea on our part.
But there was no other way. I Googled it.
Damn Google.
There was
Damn
no other
Google.
way. It was so much fun. And then we went to a Halloween party, and then Charlie was the son, and he had like a yellow sweatshirt on.
Yep.
And it was so much fun. And here I am with this little cloud. It was so much fun. I love it. And then I was Medusa and made everything. Oh, I love
That
it.
costume was intense. And I don't know if I've told this story on this show before, but you were at a party near my house.
Oh, yes.
And I am, for anyone who knows me, drinking and driving is not a thing. I'd rather you call me in the middle of the night to come pick you up. I don't care if I have to drive 2 hours to pick you up to take you home. I will do it.
Let's just say I used your services that night.
You did. Molly used my services that night. And she's like,
Yeah.
just leave my car. We'll come pick it up tomorrow. I was like, no, we'll come. Either Reese will drive.
I'm
Oh,
so glad that you overrode my drunken sense.
Yeah, I was like, no, because you're not going to want to pick it up tomorrow.
And I wouldn't have.
So,
No.
Reese, I think Reese drove my car. I drove your car.
Yep.
And we, drove the 20 minutes, half hour. And then Molly's in the back seat. She wakes up and goes, I want to go to Sheetz.
Right.
What drunken night isn't best ended at Sheetz?
Sheetz or a fast food restaurant or
Yes.
Denny's or some diner that's gross.
Yes, some diner. Yeah.
But at that moment, it's the best goddamn food you've ever had in your entire life.
Yeah. Those fries have never tasted so better.
Oh man,
Like-
you just get perfect saltiness, perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That was a fun
So-
Halloween party. That was fun.
Well, and it was raining. Okay.
Oh
so
my gosh, it's cold.
I'm totally calling your sister out. I won't name her name or anything like that. But so Molly and Charlie are in Sheetz getting food. It's Halloween, so there are cops everywhere in the parking lot because people are assholes.
And my sister is the worst when it comes to cops, and she's drunk. Just putting that out there.
So
I
her
will
and
blast
are-
her shit out here. That's fine.
I mean, she's your sister. You're allowed.
right?
So we're in the car, and I hear the door open, and I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
This
she
is gonna
makes
be
the
bad.
worst decisions.
Now I am stone sober. We stayed home that
Yeah.
night. We didn't go out or anything. And I hear splatter on the parking lot. I was like, ooh, great. She's throwing up. The cops are gonna come over and be like, what are you doing? Waiting
my
for my other two
gosh.
drunk friends to get food so I can take the drunkest one home. But yeah, that was a fun party for y'all, and I'm glad that we could be of service.
Yeah.
that evening.
And that's our equivalent of trick-or-treating.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just gotta make do with what you can do,
Yeah. And it's fun. I love any excuse to dress up. If you have a themed party, you're the coolest person in my mind.
Yeah.
If I get a chance to dress up, yes, I will come to your party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really
Right.
need an excuse. Literally, it could be the middle of June, and you're like, I'm having a theme party.
Yes,
Deal.
that's what
I'm
I'm saying.
there. Yeah. So Robert is going into a little more detail about his first Halloween and trick-or-treating. He said, when I made it over there to Portland, Oregon, I was 31 and missed Halloween by 2 days. So I saw all the pumpkins on the doorsteps, had to wait a full year to get a demon costume with a foam sword, wobbly sword of death. The wings and
my
tail
God.
kept getting in the way, but was worth it.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
is.
Annoying
gosh.
costumes are always the best.
It is. And Portland, Oregon. I know that area very well. It's where I'm from. Well, not Portland, but Oregon. And fall, Halloween's there. It's cold and it rains and it's cold
Yeah.
all the time.
I don't think I could live in Portland or Seattle just because of all the rain.
It does rain a lot, but that's the thing, and I think it's because one product of my surroundings, I grew up
Right.
with it. our winters were rain, and we'd
Yeah.
get some snow and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was a muddy, rainy mess, and the
Right.
sun would not show its face. So like now here, like you get like there's a lot of sunny days when everybody's like, oh, it's gloomy, and I was like, it's not that bad, because 3 months straight you would not see the sun. Like there legit was a month. No, it was like, yeah, a whole month. It rained every single day.
That would drive me crazy.
Yeah. But I was like used to it. So like it's in my comfort zone. Like it's raining right now. We haven't seen the sun since like yesterday afternoon.
Right.
I'm loving it. Right.
Well, so that's the thing. Like I love a good storm. Don't get me wrong. Like
Yeah.
it puts me to sleep and it just lulls me like into this nice, awesome sleep. But when it's like 4, 5, 6 days, I'm like, is it ever gonna stop?
Right. See,
I
with
miss
me,
the
when it's like
sun.
sunny like that, I'm like, y'all, this is fake. Something's happening. This is way too much sun.
Right.
Where's my rainy day? Like,
Right. Yeah. No. Oh. Robert says, yes, quite depressing in Portland, coming from the tropics of Queensland, where
Yeah.
we get sun every day, just about. Yeah. See, that's my climate right there.
yeah, that would have been a weather culture shock for sure.
Yeah.
Weather
Well, and
shock.
Kat says 6 fucking months, no sun, fuck no.
It's true. Again, I met her in Oregon. I was actually, we were in beauty school. I was 19 years old. Oh my God, so long ago.
We were
Yeah.
babies.
We were babies. Yeah, so I've noticed it a long time. And so, yeah, we experienced those rainy days together a lot of the time.
Well, and it's funny because you say, like, you know, the fall out there, like, you got a lot of rain and it was just gloomy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I remember as a child, more Halloweens than not, we had snow on the ground.
Gosh.
So
Yeah, so I think I would take the rain rather than the snow that early. Like, I'm not ready for snow that early. I don't know why we're talking about weather all the time right now, but
I don't either, but it's Halloween based.
it is, right? Tis the season of the talking of the weather, because I feel like this is the only time we talk about weather this extently, because we get one day of like rain and then the next day it's gonna be snowing. Like there's no in between.
Welcome to
You
Pennsylvania.
have to prepare, right?
So with it being so rainy, you know, out west, when you would go trick-or-treating, did that like change your costume, or did you have to do anything like around it? Like, were you Mary Poppins with an umbrella so you could stay dry?
You would just take your umbrella. I mean, the funny thing is, though, that would be the only time an Oregonian would use an umbrella. A funny meme and a funny like saying is, you can tell who's not in like an Oregonian who wasn't born or raised there because they have rain boots and an umbrella. Yeah, we don't have those.
You're like, we
So,
don't use those.
I never had an umbrella, and I like never wore, like, we had like mud boots because you had to.
You lived on a farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like we never, and you didn't have like raincoats. You had like winter coats. There wasn't, I don't know. So you could say like anybody who was like carrying an umbrella, they're not from around these parts. Like,
right. They're what we called here in the mountains of Pennsylvania a flatlander.
Right.
You're not from here.
Right.
So Kat totally hit the nail on the head for me. She said, dude, in Montana we put costumes over snowsuits. Totally done that.
Oh my god.
Totally done that here in Pennsylvania.
But
like,
we would wear like long johns, but we wouldn't have to go to that extent of wearing like snowsuits.
Right. Yeah. I think
my
so.
gosh.
If I lived out west when I was a kid, or I have children and go out west, and we go trick-or-treating, I would totally dress them up or me up as a rubber ducky.
Oh my god.
Just float down the street.
And you would be fine because there's always streams probably around, like coming down out of nowhere because it rains
They'll be like,
all the time.
what is that 34-year-old woman doing? Why is she bobbing down the street in a rubber ducky costume? I'll be like, mind your business. Let me alone.
Right. Mind your business. You have like a cocktail. Get over yourself.
Bottle of wine with a straw stuck in the top. Leave me alone.
Yo, how fun would it be to make a rubber ducky costume? You would just need like a tire.
Yeah, you
Not
could
like
literally just get like
like
an
an inner
inflatable
tube.
like inner tube.
Yeah.
Next
year.
I see a
Right.
project coming on.
Charlie's
Ideas
gonna
are
hate
flowing.
me. Oh gosh. And he's so funny because every time I get these wild ideas and I'm like, I'm gonna execute this so well and I won't need anybody's help. Until I don't execute it well. I don't know what I'm doing. So then I fuck it up and then I panic and I'm like, Charlie, why aren't you over here helping me? You know.
Right, he's on the
And then
couch like, it was your idea.
Right. He's like, you've literally said nothing to me. That's why. Like, so he comes over and holds my tool while I'm cutting it and like barking orders to him.
Yeah, I'll yell at inanimate objects and then Reese will try to help me. And I'm like, if you just don't touch it, just leave me alone. I'm mad. I'll come back to it when I'm not mad anymore.
Yes.
I'm just angry. Leave me alone.
Right.
Hi, welcome to being a woman in an
I
everyday
know.
world.
Well, and just I leave things to the last second and I always have, I always will, because I work well under pressure. So I'm like,
Do, 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 do. We'll be copyrighted if we go any further, but we were singing that earlier. Because,
right.
you know. But I
It
cannot
is.
believe it is 8:57.
I just looked at the clock and I was like, oh my gosh, it's 8:57.
Yeah. I
What?
Again, I don't
Time
know
flies.
how we do this every week, that it's like we just started and hey, guess what? It's
I
almost
know.
over.
Right?
But so every week, if you're new here, we like to end the show on a positive note or something that we're thankful for, proud of, just because the world's full of so much bad and negative shit that we like to put that end focus on something good, positive, happy, whatever it may be. So I'm just gonna say that I cannot believe it is almost November.
Yeah.
I am so thankful for the position that I'm in my personal life outside of, you know, our podcast and Modern Family, that I have the joy of working from home for going on 2 years.
Yeah.
And that allows me to have, you know, extracurricular activities like this with you,
Right.
you know, where I can put energy into work and then still feel like I have enough energy after work to put energy into the show, because I literally don't leave my house.
I know.
And I'm okay with that. You know, I had a conversation with Molly earlier and a few other people that, like, I've found that I love my dog more than most humans, because this, you know, past almost 2 years has brought out the bad in so many people.
Mm-hmm.
That I keep my circle small. And I keep my online family, you know, close to me, because I love this time every week that we can just sit and talk and, you know, interact. And it's just, I'm just thankful for it. It's great.
Awesome.
I love it. So, and I took the pressure off of you, Molly. I went first. So.
Pressure my ass. That was good. And you almost, you were crying. You were tearing up. I saw it in your eyes. Don't lie to me.
You only have one contact in. You're cross-eyed.
That's true. That's probably what it was. Literally, like, it was like just the blurriness meeting at your eyes. Like, literally. Yes. Well, you know what? I'm actually really excited for like the holiday season.
Yeah.
I'm excited to spend time with like my small circle of people, because we, you know, we're keeping it small because of the coronavirus. So I'm excited for that, because like last year we didn't do anything.
Right.
Nothing. And we usually do like Friendsgiving and have a good time with like people we don't see all the time, or and we do like this Christmas thing and then a New Year's party, like, so it's gonna be a lot of like smaller, but
Right.
I'm excited we're gonna do it this year.
That's awesome.
I'm really excited. And I didn't think, like, I didn't realize how important that was and is to me until like we said we were doing it, and then I'm starting to like plan things and like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna make this kind of like cocktail and put it like, and it's gonna be really pretty and like festive, and
Yeah.
I'm getting really excited, and I haven't had that in a long time, so that's what I'm really thankful for. That's what
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, this our world has been turned upside down, and I mean everybody's world has been turned upside down. So,
Yeah.
The fact that we can socially gather in small groups and keep it safe and keep it smart, it's just awesome.
I know. Yeah, so that's what I'm thankful for, and I think it's sad that it took what it happened to me for me to get here, like, the whole pandemic and all that kind of crap, but in a small way I'm kind of glad, because now like I'm super thankful that I have it. Like I really appreciate it now.
Right. It makes you realize the little things in life that you, I don't want to say took for granted before, but didn't see all of the.
Just didn't realize.
Yeah. You didn't realize how important it was.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But so Molly, what's scrolling across the bottom of our screen before we leave?
Oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, just for that little riff. Hell yeah. But you can also check us out on WLFE-DB.com, Facebook.com/WLFEDB radio, and their LGBTQIA plus WLFEDB Facebook pages, because we are all of them. And then also you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, Modern Femme-ily, all spelled the same way, except for Instagram, there's no dash between the E and the I. And then last but not least, if you have questions, comments, or show ideas, feel free to shoot them over to us at modernfemily@gmail.com. There's no dash in that either between the E and the I. And then I always seem to forget this, but don't forget to check us out where you can find your podcasts, because we take this little show and turn it into a podcast so you can listen to us on the go. So make sure you check us out there.
I'm gonna have to check that out, because I really want to hear what my voice is over a podcast.
There you go. Check us out, Molly. But everybody, it was so nice hanging out with you for our last spooky season episode. We will be here next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you come hang out with us. And I'll have no neck brace next week. So, but we will see you all next week. Bye.